Okay, so we are recording, gentlemen, and thank you both. So now, I'm going to unmute you, so you are self-muted. So if you have any questions, then please feel free to chime in. Don't feel like you can't ask any questions. So I do have a question of both of you. Do either of you have multiple screens, or are you working off of one computer screen? If you are, are you working with two screens?
No.
Okay, so that you, Frank? Or
No,
Ron?
that was right.
Ron. Okay, so Ron. Okay. All right, so what you're going to do is I want you to go to an internet browser like Chrome or Firefox, whatever browser you like to work with, okay? And open up the browser, and hang on for a second, I'm going to open up one here. Perfect. All right, so now I am opening up a browser, and you're going to want to go to the site. Hello? What'd you say?
Sorry about that.
Can you hear me okay, everybody?
Yes, I'm sorry. My granddaughter ran in the room.
That's okay. They're loud. That's what we do this for, is our grandchildren. So where you want to go to the top of a browser bar, and you want to type www.genesis203k period net, genesis203k.net. Okay? Let me know when you guys at least have that up.
Okay, hold on.
Okay? Frank, if you don't have a microphone, you're actually self-muted, so if you want to unmute yourself so you can talk, or if you don't have a microphone on your computer, just type in the chat box. I have that open on my screen as well. Okay. All right, so let me know when you guys have that screen and you've hit 203K, genesis203k.net, and hit enter. I have to log out. There you go, log in. So that what I'm going to do before we actually start giving you guys your login activity, I'm going to show you some of the features of the program so you can have an understanding of exactly what Genesis can do for you. So first of all, what you're going to need to do is you're going to create a consultant company ID. I would recommend you use a name that is branded to you. For example, for myself, I own a home inspection company and consulting firm here in Pennsylvania. So my branded name my company name is Value Home Inspections. So my 203K consultant company ID is VALUEHOME. So when you're going to create your account, you're going to create two separate accounts. One is your company account, and one is your consultant account. And then when the contractors come in to enter their bids in the system, they'll log in by clicking this button here, and they'll enter through the contractor portal. And we have a new module that's going to be coming out soon where your borrower will be able to log into the site, just typing in the company name and then their username and password, and they'll see their file and be able to open it up, and if they want to change something on it, they'll be able to have access to the information that's in the report, and when the contractor's bids come in, they'll be able to view all the bids that come in. So this is how the program will be able to function for you. So then you enter your company ID, and then you're going to, when you're ready to work in, you're going to go into the company management system. Now let me set that up. Oh, I hate this. Let's see. Keep forgetting what my password is. Let's see. Let's try that one. All right, hang on, I got to look it up. So you have two separate logins. One is for the company side, where you will add the consultants and add your contractors and edit the system. And this is set up for companies that have multiple inspectors. And then you also will have the consultant side, where you'll use to enter projects. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to get that information. You have to log in for that. So while I'm setting up and showing you what the program looks like, what I want you to do both of you have two separate email addresses that you can use, one for the company and one for you. Let's see if I can move this over here. I'll move this over here, and we'll show this screen here. And Okay, so I don't know what's going on with the screen. All right, there it is. All right, great. So the screen just stopped for some reason. Okay, great. Let me open this up. So I don't usually go into the company side because I live there, and there it is. Okay, so this is one of the ways that I can look at. So let's see. And let me go into here and hit my notes. For a second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you log in on the company side, and then you're going to create your you're going to log in on the company side, and then you're going to create the user for that. Okay, great. Okay, there's $. Okay. So now I'm logging in as the company side. So here on the company management dashboard, here on the, oops, I keep hitting that button there, and go. There it is. So here on the company management dashboard, you see where you manage the consultants. So you can view the list of consultants in your company. All right, so these are all the consultants that are in my company. I have a multi-inspector firm. Okay, and here you can manage your contractors. So this is a list of all the contractors that we work with in my company. Now, as you can see, you have company, my name, and Robert Tammy. Okay, he is the vice president of the company. There's only three people that are able to add a contractor to the system. Our other inspectors, they're not allowed to add the contractors because we want to make sure we validate them to make sure they're qualified to do the project. So we actually keep that as an administrative function. So Robert Tammy can enter a contractor, and when as a user, as a consultant, you can enter contractors in your consultant portal. But when you do that, only you can edit them. If you enter the contractors, excuse me, from the company side, then you as the company administrator can edit them and not the consultants. So most of our, as you can see, the majority of them are entered in by the company, so that only the company administrator can enter them. And this is a feature for multiple inspectors. Also, under settings, you'll be able to put in your company logo that will appear on all reports that you'll be creating in the system. Okay, and an important situation I want you to be mindful of is we have a very comprehensive help and FAQ here for you to be able to get information, getting contractors' bids, what to do. And then down here in the corner, this is called the inline manual. Now, while we're going through this conversation today, if you don't want to if you don't want to enter your information right now, but just want to watch and then do it later because we're recording, you also have the inline manual. Inline manual is an interactive training feature that can show you anything that you might want to work with. So, for example, this is a sample contractor video. Hang on for a second. Let me close this door. This is a sample contractor video that a contractor can open up that explains to them how to use Genesis. Here, creating your Genesis Rehab Reporting account. This is a walkthrough. So now if you decide you want to do this later, it will actually walk you through step by step what you need to do from the sign-in page. So here you can see inline manual is, so if you want to do the main user page, it actually will tell you what to do once we log out and go to that same portal. Okay? So the next thing that you need to know is once you set up your company, then you're going to add consultant, and that's going to be yourself. And so this is how you will add the consultant, and we'll show you that in a minute, but first you're going to set your company up. And then once you've added the consultant, then you'll be able to log in as the consultant in the system. So here you see I turned on inline manual, so it now will walk you through using the system. So here it says all users must know the company ID of the 203K consultant working on the rehab project. So Ron, I know that your company's name is, your email address is MAA Inspect, with something all about inspections. Meadows all about inspection. So you might just want to say Meadows inspection. But what I recommend that you might want to consider doing, especially if you're really looking to grow your business in 203K, is brand it to your 203K activities. This is not an email address. It's any name you want. So you might want to call it Meadows All About 203K. That's a bit long, so you might want to keep it a little shorter. So you can see here's some examples of some recent people who have logged in. So this is the sample account, the NAFAC account. This is my local company. This is one of our members. And this is another one of our members. His company was called Second Opinion Home Inspections, and so his login ID was just Second Opinion. So whatever you want to do, if you just want to say Meadows 203K, that would be a great way of branding. So Meadows AII 203K, nothing too complicated. Frank, you can pick whatever you want for your company name, and then what you're going to do is, like I said, I have my Value Home Inspection, and then once I enter the company ID, then I can log in as a consultant. So as I said, you want to have two separate email addresses, otherwise you might get it can get confusing. So here I'm going to show you my login on my local company. If I could remember my own passwords. Oh, there it is. Okay. Really? Stop it. Oh, I'm using the wrong email address. It changed on me. That's it. There you go. All right, let me turn off this. Let me turn off this thing here so it stops. Bingo. Okay, great. Turn that off. Now we can just go forward. So I'm logged in with the company Value Home. I'm entering the consultant management system, and now I'm going to put in the right email address and password. There we go. That's a little bit better. So now, this is the main dashboard where you'll be able to see the projects that you have at any given stage of the renovation cycle. And this is very, very important because, especially when you get into the trying to figure out what's where, this will help you figure out what projects you have. So here you can see I have one in pre-inspection, one that's in preliminary work write-up, 4 that are in contractor bidding. I have 4 that are the work write-ups are still pending completion, and I have 10 that are in draw inspection. Now, I'm only doing 203K consulting part-time because I am shuttling between here, the Washington, D.C. office of the National Association of FHA Consultants, and our satellite office in Orlando, Florida for the South, our South office. So I'm actually shuttling a lot around. So I'm actually only doing 203Ks on a part-time basis. So now you may have more consulting projects, but when you click the button that says Projects, you will open up to the dashboard, and in that dashboard, you'll be able to see the projects that you have, and we'll talk about the color coding system on the side. But here you can actually see a snapshot of all of your projects at whatever stage that they are at. So now to make it easier for you to see, I'm going to hit the zoom button, and we put this zoom up here so that if you're using this on your cell phone or on a tablet and you want to make the screen bigger and your tablet doesn't have a touch screen to make it wider, you tap the zoom and it will make everything larger. So come on, zoom up. There we go. All right, so now you can see here, this tab, the Active Projects tab, opens up and shows you all of your projects at whatever stage they are. If you have contractors that are in the midst of bidding and the contractor hasn't even bothered to submit a bid on a project, you'll be able to open up the file and see which files haven't had any contractors to bid. Because I have such a busy company, I don't like to have to wonder, well, who is it that I need to do a draw for or what's going on? So what we do is, this 25 days since last draw inspection, you click that button and it takes you to a list of just those draws that have been 25 days or more since the last draw. And I don't know about you, but I don't like to lose money, and I don't like to have a lender call me up and say, hey, it's been a while since you've done a contractor draw inspection. When are you going to get out there? This way I know what I'm doing. Okay, so going back here, you can see that I have one in preliminary work pre-inspection, and this is the property that I'm scheduled to go out to do on April the 6th. So now let me ask you a question. Are either of you familiar with a software, with a web-based project management service called ISN, Inspection Support Network? Are either of you familiar with ISN? You can talk or you can chat. Inspection Support Network is a system that you can use to manage your inspection business. We, as a multi-inspector firm, we use it, and what you can do is you actually can import. So now this is the schedule that I have for tomorrow. These are what was scheduled for today. This is what we have scheduled today. This is all the appointments that were booked today, and it shows you what the system of scheduling is that's going forward. And so it actually manages all of our staff and all of our inspections, and it actually is integrated with with Genesis, so that you don't have to write this information in. If you are integrated with ISN, you can literally import the order directly from that other system. So if you're using ISN, there is a tutorial on how to import from ISN. Okay? So the next thing I want to show you, so once you have entered your information in, you can create all the reports that you need. So here is the pre-inspection report. And as you can see, this program is task-driven. You never have to wonder, what's my next step? Because it won't let you leave this set until you get everything that you need done. So you create a cover page, and you just grab a picture of the property from the internet. So this is the house that I'm going to be doing on Thursday, on the 6th, so I think that's Thursday. And you can see they got this off a trend. My assistant got it off a trend. And so now this is the report cover page. And you can change the title to whatever you want. This is my consultant services agreement. We've created an agreement that we have reviewed with several attorneys around the country, and we provide it for you built into your system. But if you don't like it, you can always edit this agreement, and you can also change it permanently and store it to whatever agreement you want. And so this agreement is inserted into the system. And this non-home inspection disclosure form. This is a form that HUD is requiring all 203K consultants to submit with their consultation services. And if you, in addition to being a consultant, you are a home inspector, this is a great way to generate that additional revenue, because you're having to give this form to the buyer that says, I am not acting in this capacity as a home inspection, but if you would, and HUD recommends that while home inspections are recommended, FHA does not require them. But if they want one, I can always do one right there while I'm at the property doing my 203K consultation. And so in that way, I'm giving 2 separate reports and I'm earning 2 fees. Okay? Does that make sense so far, guys? Are we all with me still? Everybody there? You can unmute yourselves. It's just the 3 of us. Frank, are you still with me? Okay, well, I'm going to keep going unless I hear that you guys are having problems. So now, once you have entered the information to create your cover page, you can print and preview a copy that does not have your signature. Or you can click this button here and have your signature added to all the pages. And the way you're going to create your signature is you're going to, once you set up your account, you go to Settings, and then you actually update your digital signature, and you import a digital signature. So you just get a file. Okay, so I'm going to go back to that property that's in preliminary work write-up, pending. And now I'm going to preview and print the report. So now this is a different product. Open up the wrong file. Let me go back out and let's go to pre-inspection. There you go, pre-inspection. So now I hit the pre-inspection, and now I hit the button that says sign the PDF documents. Now, if you do not have a digital signature entered into the system, you cannot go to the next phase, because this is how you finalize the report, is by putting your signature on it, and then you actually can finalize the pre-inspection report. It creates the PDF for you, and what we do is we actually deliver this to the client in the form of an email, and we also, for them to sign electronically, and we also print it off and bring it with us to the feasibility inspection in a binder. And so you can use it however you choose, but we give a full copy. And so here it shows me as the consultant, my company details, preliminary 203K report. This is our file naming convention. We use the street name and the client's name for our naming convention. And here you can see you have the client's name. You've got the loan officer information. Here's the consultant services agreement that I showed you. Goes over the fees and how we process. It talks about a lot. And there's my signature automatically inserted with the date. And here's my non-inspection disclosure. So I can print this off, freehole punch it, and put it in a 3-ring binder, and I'm ready to go out to the field. So, do you guys like that so far? Ron? You can unmute yourself. So now, at that point, once I've finished the preliminary pre-inspection, when I come back from the field with all my notes, then I'm going to create my feasibility report. And it's very simple to do the feasibility report. The cover page is already generated for you by the picture, and then you just simply go down step by step and complete all the tasks. You create a cover letter where you describe what the report is. You enter your permit information or none. Your construction cost estimates. This is where you put in your specification of repair line items. Here you can see that you can add a tax margin to all the material items if you choose to, or a markup. And it will then, and then the fee schedule, you enter your fees. And so, for example, your draw fees and your mileage fees is the client paying it, which if it's the Fannie Mae, the client pays because the lender won't. Or if it's a 203K, you put the lender pays and it will appear on the SOR. And here, if you have any additional fees like your work write-up cost that you're reimbursing to the borrower, you would put that fee there. Now, this system is designed particularly for new novice users. And by all editable, yes, all the things that are editable are the cover letters, absolutely, the consultant comments, the cover page, all this is editable. The construction cost estimate, the specification of repairs, obviously you go into the masonry category, and when you first start using Genesis, all of the repair items will be under default. You'll select one, and then repoint areas at real wall. And once you select it the first time and hit submit, after that it will appear on your own private company list. So you can see all of my private company repairs. So here we have install masonry porch and steps. So I hit submit. We give you a base start of default items to work with. And so here you put in what the location of the property is. So we're going to say exterior front. Who's requiring it? Well, if it's desired by homeowner, if it's not necessary, you can put a D. If it is necessary and if the steps are cracked and broken and upheaved, then it's a mandatory item. Or if you just think they're in poor shape and should be replaced, then you recommend it, you put R. Whatever you put down here as a category will create a breakout report at the back of the SOR that actually breaks everything down by mandatory, recommended, and desired. And then who's going to do the work? The owner, the contractor, or the subcontractor. You can put 256 characters of description, what it is, and then here's where you put your costs. And then if you want to add another item, you click yes. If you don't, you hit submit. So let's just stick something in here just for kicks and giggles. And we're going to put in here, contractor, unit cost, we'll say lump sum, quantity 1, and we'll put in $500. Now, you have the ability to edit your repair items and put in your hard numbers so that the numbers will be able to be replaced, will automatically come up with the amount. You can put labor and material. As a consultant, I only put lump sum, estimated cost of material / lump sum, but the contractors, when they bid, they're required to enter both labor and material. So here, let's say I do not want to add another item. I hit submit. And now, once this finishes processing, you have the ability to create a category-specific detail. This is a section that will appear at the bottom of all of your line items for some additional information. So, for example, color of the concrete to match existing porch, contractor to obtain permit and certify and post-repair inspection. You can write as much as you want. And here you see where it says, is a permit required to carry out these repairs? You check yes, and then you hit submit. So now we go back to our construction cost estimates, and we have the one item. So now we could just generate a preview off of this one item. So here's what the report looks like, the specification of repairs. It has your logo. It has your name as a consultant. You can change this title to whatever you want. So if you're doing a Fannie Mae home style, you don't want it to say preliminary 203K report. You might want to use the word feasibility report. Whatever you want to use, you can choose. But it puts down that this is a preliminary report only, not to be used for underwriting. And there you can see the repair item, the material, the total, who's doing it, it's mandatory, it's lump sum quantity, and then you can see that the detail is there. And you can write as much as you want. And there is our project cost estimate. So you see there's no fees here because we didn't add any fees. And there's no contingency added. So I'm going to show you how we can go back and change that. And so this is the work write-up report. And it's created automatically into a PDF. So now I'm going to add another line item just for the purposes of explaining to you. And let's say we're going to say power wash the siding. So let's say the client wants to power wash some mold. And so what is it we're going to do? We're going to do exterior. Who wants to do it? It's desired by the homeowner, and it's going to be done by the contractor. Power wash all sides of home and detached garage. And I can't spell detached, but I can use spell check. So here's the cool part. The system is integrated with a built-in dictionary. So you actually can automatically correct your spelling real time with the program. Okay? And if the section is not used, it is left blank. That is correct. It does not appear. It doesn't appear at all on the report. So I'm going to put in square feet this time. So I'm going to do, say, 300 square feet of siding. I'm going to do $10 a square foot. So it's going to be 3,000. That's ridiculous. That's $1 a square foot. And that's $300. You can fix it right. Okay, and so then I'm not going to add another item. I hit submit. And there's my optional details. Power washing of all areas of exterior and rear wall of garage. So there is no permit required, and you hit submit. So this is how it now looks on the report. Let's go back. And I'm going to add one more just for the purpose of fun. I want to show you why in a minute. So we're going to say that we think we need to recoat, we think we need to install, remove old roofing. Let's say we're going to say replace damaged roof sheathing. Let's do new shingles. Okay. The roof isn't horrible, but you and I don't think it's that great. We would really recommend that they replace this roof. If they're going to spend money on new kitchen cabinets, you probably want to get the roof done first. You know how everybody wants to put in a kitchen even though the roof is falling in, right? So we're going to say roof. And we're going to recommend this. It's not bad enough. There's no leaks. It's not an appraisal requirement. The borrower isn't asking for it. We think it should be done. So replace all roofing at main house and garage. So we're going to say, excuse me. So we're going to say lump sum, quantity 1, and we're going to say $2,000 just for the numbers. Okay. So now am I going to need permits? Yes. So I'm going to include the checkbox for the fact that we need a permit for this. So it's going to refresh, and I'm going to put in add permits, and then I hit submit. The reason why I wanted to put this information in is because I wanted to show you, okay, so I'll just put in here, roofer to provide minimum 20-year warranty on shingles. Color of borrower's choice. Okay? So, anything you want to make a part of this permanent record, you can write in this section, in this bottom section, and there's no restriction. Now, you're looking at the category and you don't see the comments I just made. To keep it streamlined so you don't have to see a whole lot of text, we actually make it so that you can hide it or unhide it. Okay? So now we're going to go back. So now you can see that this has come up with a green checkbox. The cover letter can be whatever you want to say. So after a thorough inspection of the property, the following items are of note. Roof is in aged and poor condition. Now down here under this cover letter, you can edit this to say whatever you want to make the buyers understand as part of this conversation. So once you change that information and you go back to the task list, now you see that green box is checked off. You go in and put your permits in. If there are no permits, then you're just basically going to say, you check that box that you are the one certifying this, and then you hit submit. And now you've got your permit and form, certification form, and this form has been approved by all the major lenders as valid for their activities. You put your fees in, and it doesn't let you go away until you put fees in, which is cool. So we're going to say our draw fees are $250. We're going to do 2 draws. The lender is going to pay it out of the proceeds of the loan. I'm doing the cost per mile is in 3 decimal places because right now mileage is 0.545. So it's 0. Oops, back. Sorry. 0.545. And let's say it's 25 miles. It automatically calculates the number of trips it's doing, so you don't have to do any more math. All you have to do is check this box so that it's known that it's going to be added to the scope of work. And here you write in the fees for your work write-up based on repair amount from the HUD fee schedule. Since the client did pay it, it'll appear on their invoice, and the lender's going to reimburse them. So let's say your fee is $500. And then you hit submit. If you did a termite inspection and that's being added to the reimbursable to the borrower, you can put any fee you want inside there. You can make it so that it's reimbursed to the, if you're doing architectural fees, drawing fees, if you're doing a septic inspection, whatever you want. This is totally your program. You can put anything you need to put inside here so to make it work. Okay? So now once we've done that, you can see now that the consultant comments is checked off. The repair classification report, I'll show you that in a second. It's automatically generated. And here's the coolest part of the program. You now can enter photos. So now what you can do here is you actually can enter up to 25 JPEG images all at one time. So I'm going to just go out to a sample project just to give you an idea on what's going on here. So these are our active projects. And let's see, pre-closing, before photos. So these are some of the pictures. So I'm just going to take, and here's how I import the pictures quickly. I shrink the number of pictures that I can see to 5, and I start here, hold down the shift key. This is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Click the last box I want, release the shift key, hit open, and now it will upload all 25 pictures. We having fun so far, guys?
Yes.
Do you like it?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. I created it myself. So now all your pictures show up. So when you go back to your feasibility task list, now you see this bottom box has appeared because you have all the items necessary for a complete feasibility report that a lender wants to have. And this is why lenders have come to the National Association of FHA Consultants to get consultants around the country certified to use our system, because it guarantees completeness of reports. And there are a lot of consultants out there who don't know what they're doing. So now we can preview this report, or we can sign it and finalize it. We can hit print preview. You save it to a PDF on your computer, or you can just keep it in the system. And right now you're creating a complete feasibility report. The process of completing the work write-up is almost the same. You go through the tasks and you're done. It's a great system if you have a back office person who's going to complete some of the steps for you, in that they can't get past it until they get all these steps done. So what I do is I actually do the cost estimates, and I leave the rest of it to my staff to take care of everything else. So here's the preliminary report. I'll zoom it in. And so there's your first page. Here's that cover letter that describes what this is and if they want me to continue or what they want to do. And my signature's on it. Here is the permit and certification form. And here's the SOR. And you can see the line items. There's the mandatory one. There's a desired one. There's the recommended one. Here is the the project construction fee estimate. So I'll make this a little bit bigger. So you can see 2 draws, 25 miles, the work write-up fee. So $1,027 is added to the scope of work and paid out of the escrow account to the borrower for the program. So now I do not have a contingency added. If I did, it would show up there as well. So my fee is $1,000 added to the total project cost. So the total grand total is $38,727. Now, here's the cool part. This is showing the fees paid by borrowers, so they'll get, this is their invoice. You don't have to worry about creating an invoice. You now have an automatic invoice created so that the client can get reimbursed at settlement. And here's the fees included in the escrow. Here's the comment page I told you. And this is a breakout list of all the items that were mandatory, all the items that are recommended, and all the items that were desired. Now, normally it's like a whole sheet of 8 items. And then we give you a complete breakout list. And this is a very powerful tool because, especially if a borrower, and I'm sure both of you have had a condition where the borrower didn't have enough money to do all the repairs, and you had to go back and they weren't sure what they wanted to take out. This shows them all the mandatory, all the recommended, and all the desired. So if the lender says you have to take off $300 of your project, they can just simply take out the repairs that are listed as desired, and they can move right forward on. So they can just cut out these items here and keep these 2, and it's no brainer. You guys like? This is the only system that has this report. You see how this could make it very easy for you?
Yes, I do.
And lenders love it. Now, how do I erase through? Let's see. Erase. Bingo. Okay. And then here is your photo album. Now, isn't that easy or what? And the process is the same for creating your draw pictures and your draw reports. So everything is designed to be task-oriented, so you don't have to worry about a lender calling you up and saying, you forgot this, or I don't have that. None of that happens, because I don't have time for it. I don't have time. So I just screwed up this report because I hadn't even gone out to the property. And everything that we do, every system, every program, you can roll it back to the previous stage if you find that you've done something in error. So now I just wrote all over this, okay? And now I'm going to show you about how to do managing contractors. So now I did my feasibility. I'm just going to run through this very quickly, and then we're going to set your account up because I know you're eager to do it. I'm going to finalize the preliminary report. You cannot get contractors to bid until you finalize. Okay, but you can always roll back, and you can always edit the information in final work write-up stage. So now I'm finalizing this report and making it very simple. So as soon as this finishes creating the report, now I have a feasibility report PDF, and it also will create for you a blank contractor bid. So if you're having a bid meeting and you want to take copies of the bid so that contractors can look at it who haven't already set up in the Genesis system, you actually can create this bid form. This is a great resource if your client's doing a limited 203K and are not using you for anything past the feasibility report. We charge a fee for that service, and then they can just take this bid form, give it to the contractor, and then they can submit it, and then they can move forward. Okay, so what do you do about contractors? Now you see this is green because the next thing to do is dealing with contractors. So now we're going to add a contractor or two to bid on the project. So I'm going to Control F. There it is, contractor@con.com. All right, so here I'm going to click this button here to add this contractor. I'm also going to add test contractor at NAFAC. These are two test contractors. And either from the top or from the bottom, you can hit email contractors to bid. So now I'm going to send this email, and the email address that's referred to gets an email. The contractor gets an email saying, hello, you've been invited to bid on a project. So now you see it's in yellow for contractor bidding. So now I'm going to log out. And I'm going to log back in now as if I were the contractor. So I have to put in, again, the company ID. I put in the contractor information. And there you see the project that we just did called 52nd Jones. And you see where he can view the bid package in PDF format. He can view the photos as a separate PDF. And here he can now enter his bid. And it says he's unopened. So now you can see here that he can now enter the numbers directly in the system. And you see where it has that red circle with the line through it? Unless that is gone and turned into a green check, he cannot log out. He cannot submit unless all categories that have mandatory repairs are entered. The checkbox means that there are recommended or desired repairs, but this one it's got mandatory, and at the very least, the contractor must put numbers, and you can see how that's in red. So we're going to put in our material rate is going to be $250. And I'm not putting any, he can put tax margin if he wants. If he wants to put a, 6.6% sales tax, he can. And then the labor rate, let's say we're going to do, it's quantity 1, and so we're going to do $250 for the labor. We'll make it $400 for the labor. He's expensive. So it's $650. He can edit this down here. Steps to be only 3. He can edit this information and make it part of the permanent record. And so I hit submit. Wait for it. Now, you see where, give it a minute, wait for it, it still has to process. There, now it's green. So if there were some mandatory repairs that were not entered, he would not be able to submit this file. Now, I didn't enter anything in these two categories, but if the borrower, and you know the situation, they have champagne taste and beer budget, and so they want you to put in recessed lights, and they want ceramic tile, and they want everything, and then the lender says they can't afford that, and so you have to go back and delete it. Well, you don't have to delete it. Just tell the contractor, don't fill in any line items except those that have an M. And so you can see this has the letter D for desired, so we're just going to stick it in just for discussion purposes. So we're just going to say power wash. Oh, okay, 300 linear feet, so let's just say $2. And the labor rate is $1, and its lump sum is 1. Quantity is 1 square foot, 1. And so we're going to hit submit. Now, here's what I want to show you guys. He can submit this bid right now, but I'm going to show you something really fun. This is called Add Contractor Recommended Repair Items. You see, I've been doing this for almost 26 years, and so I've had every problem come up. So when I created this system, I created it to make it easy for me, okay, in addition to you all. So I always have had a situation where I'll go out, write the report with the client, and invariably when the contractor goes out with the client, they add more stuff that they want the contractor to do. Have you ever had that happen?
Yes.
And then they want you to rewrite your report to include the contractor's numbers? Ever have that happen?
Yep.
Now you don't have to worry about it. If the contractor is adding new items that the borrower or he feels should be included, All he has to do is click this button here, and he actually can add his own recommended items, and it will now be imported over onto your system. So let's say we're going to do on the first floor, the borrower wants the contractor to install new hardwood floor. Now, contractors don't know where the line items belong in a scope of work. They don't understand that hardwood floors goes in wood floor. I mean, like vinyl floors goes in finished floors, and ceramic tiles go, ceramic tiles go into ceramic tile, not in flooring. So they don't know where it goes. So they're not going to, they're just going to put it as a contractor recommended item. They'll put their labor and material. We'll just put one lump sum. And the rate's going to be, let's say 500. I like that number. And then we're going to have lump sum 1. And we're going to say 800. We're not adding another item. And now he can enter this item in the system. And he can add borrower to choose wood flooring, cost allowance, $2 a square foot, goods. Cost to include removal of carpeting. Okay, whatever. And so we hit submit. So now this is a desired item because this is not something that had to be done, yet you can see that under contractor recommended items at the very bottom, there's that extra category. When you get it on your side, you'll move it into whatever specific category it belongs. You guys like this so far?
Yes.
So now we're not going to submit this bid just yet. I'm going to log out and I'm going to log back in on my side. Because have you ever had a situation where you weren't sure at what the contractor was doing? Like, is he started the bid? Has he finished? What the heck is he doing? Well, this system allows you to keep tabs on the contractor. So now that project is now in contractor bidding. I'm going to just go here instead of looking. So I'm going to go right here to contractor bidding. And there it is, 52nd. So now, what's happening with the contractor? What is he doing? I can actually view contractor bids. So there, you see the one contractor didn't even open it. This one is telling me he's filled in all the mandatory repairs. These are his numbers for material and labor, and he's ready to submit, but he hasn't done it yet. So now you'll always know at what phase your contractors are at in the bidding process. See, this is meant to make it easy for you. So now I'm going to go back out and log back in as the contractor. And don't let contractors give you grief about using this. It's to their advantage. It protects them from bad numbers or transposed errors and things of that nature that happen all the time. So here, this contractor has one that's in draw request. So you can see it has had 6 draws. You can see all the draws that he's previously submitted. Okay, and this one's been submitted, so it hasn't been approved yet. So he can't do another draw. So this one, you can see where it says ready to submit to consultant. And then we hit OK. Once it's submitted, the contractor is done. And it gives him the agent, the lender, the client, the property, so he can keep track, and the loan number. And there you can see where it says submitted. So now I'm going to log out. And I'm just going to log right back in. And we'll go to projects. And there we'll go to here. So we'll look at the contractor's bids. And there you see that it's submitted. If I don't like the bid, or the contractor says it's not good, or the borrower doesn't like it, you can send it back to him for request revision, or you can select him as the winning bid. And now you see this button here, import the bid into the work write-up. So now it's going to put the information, and once that bid is selected as a winning bid, the other contractor is notified that he failed to meet the bidding deadline and that the bidding is closed. So now we have it in work write-up. We see our winning bid in a PDF format, and we can now edit the project. So now I can always edit. I'd forgotten to put my contingency, so I'm going to put it in now, and hit submit, and I'm going to go back. All right, and it did. So now you can see all the boxes are checked off, but the contractor's numbers were copied over, but we had to assign, we now need to assign those contractor recommended items. And see, it was contractor recommended, and we wanted to install new hardwood floors. Okay, so I need to move this to the category of wood floors. And so now it's going to be moved out of contractor recommended, and it's going to be placed in the category of hardwood floors. Is that not easy?
Yes, it is.
So now that shows up right down here under wood floors. So you don't have to worry about rewriting your numbers. Contractors can add as many things as the buyer wants, and then you can edit them once you get it into here. So once that's done, that checkbox is done. You pick a closing date. And that's done. And then you basically check to make sure you're happy with the wording of the homeowner contractor agreement. You can just simply hit submit and approve it without any changes. The agreement text has been saved. Go back. And now you've got your print preview, work write-up report, including your identity of interest, your initial draw request, and it even will create the matching contractor bid to make it look exactly like this, because that contractor recommended items needed to be in work write-up. So now you don't have to worry about, I need you to make it match the contractor's bid. Have you ever heard that from a lender?
Yep.
Now it's done for you, and all you have to do is get the contractor to sign it and to confirm that it matches exactly to your bid. So now I've just basically went through the entire system up through, not including draw inspections. We will teach you that another day. Are you ready to set up your own account? And now this project is in work write-up, and we're ready to start draws. Now, here's the cool part. I can roll this back all the way. So if you accidentally finalize report, you need to make changes to the work write-up report, I can roll it back. So anytime you finalize, you're not stuck. It'll delete everything that you did, but you can roll it back. Okay? So now I can roll it back to work write-up. I can continue to manage contractors. And then if you need to roll it back prior to this, we're working on another ability to take it back to pre-contractor bidding. And so once we set that up, then you'll have another button to take it even back further. So it takes you right back to work write-up. It doesn't let you get past that because you should have already completed your bids. Okay? So one last thing I want to share with you, which is so critical to your success using the Genesis system. Okay. We have a program that allows you, and I should have used it on that one. I can't do it now. I just had that one. Let's see. All right. When you create preliminary work write-up. Okay, do this one. All right, so now I can roll this back to pre-inspection. Let's see if I can find another one I can roll back. Contractor bidding. And these are all active jobs, so I don't want to roll this back. Media, when was this done? This was done May 20th. Yeah, I can roll this one back. We're not using this project. This was a sample I was working with. Okay, so I don't remember this job. Rose tree. I'm going to leave it there. I don't want to screw up any of my jobs. So, but you press this. You can keep going, rolling backwards. Let me go back to that one there. Preliminary work. Okay, this one, I'll do it. He's not buying that house. Let me go back to preliminary. So you can roll it back. Okay, so now, what I want to explain to you guys is you have projects right now that are in various stages of completion. And you can move them over to Genesis right away. All you have to do is create the project, and when you finish entering all the data, you'll be at the pre-inspections due stage. Well, let's say you're already in your first draw. You don't need pre-inspection. Well, you can hit this button here. Let's say you're already completed the work write-up and you're ready to just get the close and you don't want to have to wait to start a new job. You can actually just click this button here and skip straight to work write-up and skip all the preliminary stages, so that all you have to do is enter your totals into the specification of repair category, because you already have the documentation elsewhere. If you want to write out the whole thing, you can, but you enter your numbers into the work write-up, because it will not carry any number because you don't have any numbers. You just enter your totals, and that'll put you into the draw category, and then you can start doing your draws right away. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you can skip past all the preliminaries. You've got your reports already written on paper that explain the details. You just need the numbers into the system so you can start processing draws. And the contractors can submit their draws through the system, just like they submit the work write-up. Okay? So, you guys like this? We're going to give you 2 months free trial of this system. All right? And what I'm going to have you do is this. You're going to hit, so are you ready to go? All right, so for the last 15 minutes, we're going to go into how to create your account. First, you hit the register button. Now, at this point in the program, if you're not doing it right now and just want to watch along, you can actually hit the button that says creating your Genesis Rehab, and it will actually step you through every single thing you need to do. So the first thing you need to do is you need to put your contact information, and you need to put an email. And you see here, we strongly suggest you not use the same email that you will use when you create your consultant account. So if you click the button for the walkthrough of creating your Genesis Rehab Reporting account, it will step you through the process exactly step by step. So once you finish filling in your name, and your email, your phone numbers, you hit the button that says next, and then it asks you for your company location. Once that is automatically populated for you, or however you want to do it. And if you're not sure of anything, these little question marks give you additional information. Click here to enter project management. So we're going to put the company information here. So let's go back to our inline manual. All right, so we hit that. We hit next. Next. Now, your company ID. This is what we were talking about earlier. So there you can see some examples of a company ID. Make it with no spaces and no special characters. It needs to be just letters, alphabetical. All right, so, and then you hit next, and then the password, you want to create a password. This is your company password. Okay, so you're going to create a company password, and then hit next, and then retype the password. I don't know the password I made. I think you have to have 5. And your company name, if you work under a company name, some men work under their own name, DBA. So you put your company name and your company website. And then, let me fix this. All right, so the company ID, you'll need this to log in. So let's say, and that was 5 ones for a sample. Okay, so we're going to now, you hit I agree to the terms and conditions, and you actually can look at them. And then you hit sign up. You are now a registered Genesis company. All right, so did you guys get that done?
Nope, I'm going to do it in a little bit.
Okay, yes, you can have one of your secretaries do it tomorrow, absolutely. So once you create the company account, then you need to log in as a company, okay? So that was Thomas 203K. It's not case sensitive. You enter your company. Whoops, what was that? What did I forget? I thought I made the name Thomas 203K. Okay, I'm just going to stick my own company in. NAFAJC. And this is whoops. This is my sample company. Ugh, I can't remember any of these passwords. It's driving me nuts. And what is it written down here? I'll look at the video to find out what was the name I made that company. Okay, and let's see what my company is. I don't want that. Company login is 203kqueen at nafac.org. Okay, there it is. And now I'm in my company. So now we're going to add a consultant. So to add a consultant, the important thing to note is that your consultant ID number, whatever your ID number, so for example, Frank, you're in Pennsylvania, so you have a P number for Philadelphia. Ronald, you are in Colorado, so you have a D for Denver. So you put your consultant ID number here, your state home inspection license number if applicable, any National Association for Home Inspectors that you are a member of, and the NAFAC ID number that you're going to use is the same as your consultant ID. Okay? That's the only important thing I wanted to make clear. That number here is the same as your consultant ID. You fill in all this information, and then you hit submit. So, consultant ID is a P. We'll do sample, consultant, and the email address is going to be, we'll just use and we've got some weird information. We've got the city, state, and zip. Whatever. And then you hit submit. Now, once the consultant has been added to the system, there you can see sample consultant. That's the email address. Now, you do not see the password. The password is generated by the system, and an email is sent to the consultant, so it will be sent to you, letting you know what your temporary password is, okay? So I'm going to show you what that email looks like, and then we're going to be done. And I'll ask if you have any questions, and I hope this was helpful for you.
Yes, it was. Look forward to using it.
The nice thing about it is you can use it in the field. You can get started on the road. I love that. And the fact that if you have an assistant, they can log in and edit the reports. So let's say, for example, a lender comes up and says to you, oh, I need you to change the contingency to 10% because we can't make it work with 15. Have you ever had that happen?
Yes.
Well, don't you hate it if you're in the field? Well, I'm in the field right now. I can't get that done today. Well, what do you mean? I got to have it done right now. We're trying to go to close, right? How many of you heard that? So,
Yes.
so now you don't have to worry about doing it you can do it right there from your smartphone. And then you can redo the reports, attach them as a PDF, and actually send them from your smart device right there in the field. So now here you can see in the email account that I set up, now it went to junk mail because this is the first time I've used this. So make sure that when you set up your account, you make the Genesis admin a safe sender in your email account, a whitelist. Okay, so admin at genesis203k.net, you want to make that a safe sender. Okay? So now here it says new consultant registration. That was the name, sample consultant. Hi sample consultant. Hooray, you've been successfully signed up. Go to Genesis, sign in with the given credentials. So I'll show you what that looks like. And there you can see it tells them the company ID, the email address, and the temporary password. So when you set your account up, this is what you're going to see. Okay? So,
Okay.
do you have any questions, gentlemen?
I don't at this time.
Frank, how about you? Okay, so Frank said no. So, gentlemen, it takes about 40 minutes for the webinar to convert to an MP4 video file. Do you have access to Dropbox?
Yes.
Okay, I will say, if you will, here's what I'd like you to do. My Dropbox ID is Catherine Hall 203K Queen. Okay, so please, that's my Dropbox ID. Add me as a contact, and I'll add you, and I'll accept you, and then I will be able to send you the link through Dropbox. Now, we're going to give you a demonstration version of the software. I will need you to complete the knowledge assessment test, which is a requirement for certification in NAFAC. It's very easy. It's a PDF form fill. I will email you that knowledge assessment test, and 70% is passing, and it basically just shows your general knowledge of 203K consulting. Once you've passed that knowledge assessment test, then you actually will have your system unlocked. So make sure that you get that. We'll get it over to you tomorrow, and just go to the NAFAC website and register in the NAFAC website and set up your Genesis account, and then we'll send you an email with the knowledge assessment test. Complete it and send it back to me PDF. We'll grade it, and once that's passed, then we will unlock your program from demonstration only to full functioning system. And then after that point, you have 2 months free trial, and then after that you can continue it for $59 a month for as many jobs you want, as many consultants as you want, as many contractors you want to put in. You have up to, for $59 a month you can put one consultant. For $97 a month, you can add 2 consultants, and then if you are a larger firm, the price goes up to, the highest is $197, and at $197 you can have 10 consultants, up to 15, 20 consultants on your system, and that's per month. So you can see you're paying less, even at the highest level, you're paying less than what you'd be paying for one that you're getting from one draw.
No, okay.
All right? So
That sounds good.
I hope this was beneficial for you. I really appreciate your flexibility to be able to be on this short notice call, and I look forward to having you as a happy Genesis user. Again, I understand you can't attend, Ron, but Frank, we're going to be having an event May 5th and 6th in Boulder, Colorado. So if you just want to go to our website at www.nafac.org, and you can register for the event or get more information about it. If you ever need to contact me, once you have given me your Skype ID, I gave you my Skype ID just there. That was my Skype ID. Catherine Hall 203K Queen is my Skype ID, not Dropbox ID. I apologize. Once you have Skype set up, and we actually will add you to a Skype users group so that you have any questions, the programmers and I can assist you at any time with answering the questions. Okay?
Okay.
So let me just go right here. And so all we want to do is, if you go to our main homepage of nafac.org, nafhac.org, right there you can see the link to the 203K House of Horrors if you'd like more information about this event. We're going to, if you can't attend this one, don't worry. We're going to be holding another one in Fort Lauderdale, October. The date of that event, just if you want to pencil it in, is going to be October 7th and 8th at the InterNACHI House of Horrors there. They're building a new one down there with ProLab Mold Company. So it's not an InterNACHI facility, it's a ProLab company, and we actually have a lot of discounts and benefits of being a member of NAFAC. One, you get discount on your mold test equipment and other services. So we'll get you all that information after we have you registered. So please don't hesitate to take advantage of anything in the system. Right there, your memberships. So just basically you can actually enroll right now for your membership. Okay, gentlemen, thank you so much for being on. Good night, and I hope to see you very soon at a live event.
Okay, thank you.
So, like I like to say to people, until I'm able to support you in the future, be outstanding. Good night.
Okay. Good night.